I don't know exactly what all Counter-Strike news you guys want me to be sharing and talking about, so every now and again I'll sprinkle in some random subjects. The game itself is experiencing such high highs right now, not just in player count, but also in market cap. At one point a few days ago, breaking $5 billion, okay? I don't have much money in skins, probably, a decent amount in stickers because I used to invest in stickers back in past majors, but I really wish that I had put a lot more in CS skins 8 to 10 years ago when I first started. It is blowing my mind, okay? All of my homies out there that have been playing Counter-Strike and making content for years, they are all doing way better than I am, okay? As I sit on this $6 desk. So I just wanted to share that really quick before we hop into the actual CS news, which is S1mple has officially been spotted, and this should not be surprised. It's also a couple days old, but he's now officially scrimming with the FaZe clan guys. Of course, FaZe announced, 72 hours ago, maybe even more than that, and there's been some doubts around S1mple. We talked about yesterday the Talking Counter boys, including Moses, and many others outside of them expressing concerns for FaZe. He has a couple of weeks of prac, not even before IEM Dallas. They'll also be missing one of their members there, that being FaZe Rain, who is having a kid. Congrats to him. And then, of course, he'll be replacing Brokey, and joining this roster for his second appearance will be the Major. 6 weeks later, not even that. It's a crazy mountain to climb for this FaZe roster, but with those doubts, we now have him at least scrimming with the team. And speaking of FACEIT and scrims out there, he's been known to maybe be a bit inactive as of late, a roller coaster ride of whether he's quitting games in the middle of them for maybe being too intoxicated to being back in the gym and back in Counter-Strike now. It is the ebbs and flows of being a S1mple fan, which is really, I think, riding the storyline so great because there are so many people out there that have high hopes for this FaZe roster and for S1mple's return. And there are so many more that have high doubts about, can he fit into this roster? Can they turn it around? And will he be there long enough to make a mark? And will he ever be the S1mple of old again? It is why we are all going to be watching. Like, I am so excited for Dallas. Aren't you guys? Like, everybody is going to be watching this even more so than when he was with Falcons. Because even then we were like, okay, like it's not going to last. And then we're probably not going to see him for a long time. Whereas this feels like, and it's been hinted at out there too, this might be a long-term play for FaZe. If they want the eyeballs, if they want the, maybe this is a plan for the second major of the year. If they have the money to get him away from Na'Vi, which I don't know if that's a smart move. We await to see how they even perform at Dallas in the major. But one person out there who is in full support of S1mple is Zeus, as he gave him a nice little message on social media, saying, "Many may not believe in you, but there are those who remember, who know what you are capable of. I am one of them. I am waiting for you to come back, and I know for sure the main enemy of each of us is ourselves. A new team is not just a new chapter. This is a challenge. First of all, for yourself. I don't want many words. Just take it and prove it. Show everyone that you still have fire, power, energy to break down cabins as you know how, so that there will be both powder and guns again." This is probably a bit of a lack of translation. Sorry, guys. Good luck to you, S1mple. Good luck. Have fun. Let's go. F you, no breaks. So just a warm-hearted message from a guy like Zeus. And you miss a guy like Zeus being around, man. Have some of his old stickers from back in the day. But a lot of people supporting and a lot of people questioning. And that's what makes Counter-Strike great, because he can either prove those haters wrong or prove those doubters correct. And I don't know. And even then, with Dallas in the major, it's such a small sample test of what could be. And so I'm super excited for FaZe's future, and it's just going to be awesome to see if they're going to be in contention. Here's the big question for all of you at home. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys this again as we approach the Austin Major. Do you think FaZe will make the playoffs at the Austin Major? That's the question. Leave an answer down below. And before we get into the final story, which all of you haters are probably going to love this one, it's more about Astralis. I want to talk to you guys about a potential, who knows, FaZe member in the future, Falcons member in the future. This guy has potential and will be recruited somewhere once he leaves good old Spirit Academy. That being Kyousuke. He's here with a 4K Masterclass, okay? His FACEIT clips are surfacing everywhere. Kyousuke has been highly touted for a long time by a lot of big names out there. Most recently, m1ce, even s1mple have talked about this kid, and here is why. And very lastly, for all of you guys, again, brought to us from Striker over at HLTV, is the interest in Astralis. Last time we talked about this, now probably last week for videos, the reported buying price of the Astralis organization around that $3 to maybe $5 million range. Whether or not it includes the players, we do not know. A remarkably low number, considering that just years ago, 5 to 6 years ago, maybe a bit longer than that, when all of these esports teams were highly valued, Astralis was around 50 to 75 million for their valuation, and now down to just about 3.5 million, which is not good, obviously. According to Striker, though, even over in Denmark, yes, over in Daneland, there is no real interest to buy the brand and to build around it in the Counter-Strike community, which might surprise some and might just make complete sense to others.
We're looking for, is it going to be sold? Are they going down the gurgler? What's the update?
I honestly, at this point, it looks like it could go any which way you could possibly imagine. Like with the org going bankrupt, the core being sold, individual players being sold, somehow the org's finding a buyer for it. At the moment, I mean, from talking to people around, it doesn't look like anybody local is interested in it. You know, like some of these teams that have been like on the up in Denmark, you know, like Sashi or like a Tricked or whatever, like there's some money there, but apparently they're just not interested in the brand. They would rather build something of their own, you know, and that's curious. So nobody really local to Denmark wants it, even though it seems like Astralis as a brand still has some value. So it's, I don't know, like it just seems like there's still a lot of possibilities, and it could very well transpire in the next few weeks, couple of months maybe.
And at this rate, as much as I want to say, like, yo, I mean, that makes no sense. Like, I would love to see someone come in and replenish this brand. What the ownership group has done, some of it to their fault, and some of it, I would say, not over exaggerated, but some of it over heightened by the community. You know, people love to hate, so there have been definite mistakes made by Astralis management. Don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not an Astralis lover. I like a lot of their players. I love Cadium, and I love Device, and I love a lot of the people they bring in. But the way they've handled this organization, especially inside Counter-Strike, has led to a lot of backlash and a lot of flack towards the brand. So why would someone want to come in and spend millions of dollars trying to replenish an image when they can just build one of their own? Like, is there enough there of the existing Astralis brand to make it worth that money? So far, nobody thinks so. And maybe we as a community, as in you guys, should just give me $3 million. And then together, I'll let you guys in, and we can all co-own it together. And then we can pretend that we're Danish, but we're based in America. And we can work on this together as a team. What do you guys think? And I promise that $3 million in funding will certainly go back into the organization and not renovate my entire studio and table into an absolute fortress. I promise you guys, the thought did cross my mind. I don't have that kind of source for funding yet, but in the future, we are a danger, okay, to own a Counter-Strike team. That'd be a dream one day, but it won't be Astralis. And apparently no one else wants Astralis right now either. It's hard not to, I don't want to laugh about it because you guys know my thoughts on the whole Astralis thing, but apparently no interest over in Denmark to buy this organization quite yet. We await to see what happens with this brand and organization, especially after the major or even before. Will they be sold? And or will they be bought? But until next time, thank you all for watching. As per usual, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys. Our other channels are down below. We got a main channel, the Gamer Update, and I have my dev channel where I interview streamers, developers. A little teaser here. I'm going to be interviewing the co-creator of Counter-Strike in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that being Min Lee, which will go on that channel. So thank you all for subbing here and there. They'll be linked down below. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Big news coming soon, all right? I'll make sure to tell you guys when I know. Till next time, bye-bye.